Hello, and welcome to the Gaz Williams Show. Sorry about a slight delay there getting started. But yes, we are back, and I'm afraid tonight there is no guest. And that is with good reason, because we have actually got two guests of a sort joining us anyway in new arrivals, and actually very exciting arrivals. What have we got? I wonder, what on earth have we got? Well, there's two things. There's one thing which has gone in the rack. Now, for those of you who've been watching my show, will be aware that the rack has been a thing that's filled up, but now I've had to take the Moog subharmonicon out, and now there's a big gaping hole. But something has gone in. We'll see what that is in a moment. But also, let's have a look here. We have got something very cool. The Noodle Box from 64 pixels. Now, this is a sequencer. It's a MIDI sequencer, and it's a CV sequencer. Let's see, I think we got a bigger look of it there. Okay. And I have to say, it is rather lovely. It's built really nicely. It's a brand new thing. If you're going to want one of these, they're going to be ready to the public in about a month. It's been a successful thing on Indiegogo, and I think all the Indiegogo people have been getting theirs now. Now, why is this interesting? Well, look at that display. Look at those big, chunky, fat pixels. Really lovely. It's a very simple idea, but when you start to use it, there's something quite beguiling and, well, it's definitely fun. Now, I have to mention, though, this arrived yesterday. I've barely used it, so and it is quite deep, but you can use it in quite a simple way too, so we'll demonstrate that in a moment. But people are also kind of going, what else is going on, what else is happening? Now, if we look on here, oh, it's a little bit blurry. Let's see if we can get it there. In the rack now we have a Schlappi Engineering, fantastic name. Angle Grinder, the Angle Grinder. Now, I will do a close-up on that in a moment, but we're just going to work with the Noodle Box just for the moment. But that is an incredibly interesting module. I also feel like I'm going, it's definitely taking a step into the deep end a little bit. What the Angle Grinder essentially is a oscillator, but it also could be a filter, and it could be a modulator. It's quite a peculiar thing, and so far I've just been getting some really nice, but I don't know, intense sounds. I guess as an oscillator, you can generate loads of interesting waveforms. We'll look at that in a moment. But it also has kind of given me a need now, not just a want, but a need for an oscilloscope. Oh yes, so that's definitely something. Because I was looking, Dan Welbeck, good friend of BW Design, more about them later. He was showing me his angle grinder, well, I'll come back to that. Sorry, I am digressing. The Noodle Box is what I wanted to look at first. Now, those of you who've seen some of my other videos may also think, Noodle, the Noodler. Yes. One moment. Here it be, the Noodler. Now, these two things, they've kind of got something in common. That they both are 4-channel sort of sequencers. This one's more of a sequencer. This one's more of an arpeggiator, note generator. But Noodle Box, Noodler. I think it's legitimizing the use of the word noodle for the things that we do, and I think it's without shame. So I thoroughly approve. There's plenty of room for a noodler and a Noodle Box in, well, certainly in my studio. Yes. How are we doing there, everybody? Oh, hey, nice to see people in the chat room. Hello, everybody. There is a cool crew gathering. Holy moly, this is cool. I genuinely am blessed and honoured to have your company. Thank you so much, everybody. It really does make a big difference. Noodle Box. Now, you might have noticed this. Look at all of them. They're like kind of combos and key controls for the Noodle Box, and that's kind of what makes this thing pretty special. Is it's got a lot of performer kind of controls. Now, a few things first I'll just mention about this is it isn't rackable. It's a bit too deep, and it's, well, I guess if you were to make it rackable, it would be quite a big module. So it does make sense, I think, being in this. Let me just get a bit more focus. It's kind of nice, sturdy build. It's got a pleasing weight to it. It's yeah, things feel good. This encoder, now you can see a big, well, the main usage of this really is this encoder being this cursor that you can scroll through your sequence. So then as you scroll through your sequence, you can add notes in, scroll along, you know, we do this kind of thing. Anyway, we'll play some examples in a moment, but I've got this hooked up via MIDI to the Abyss Dread box, which is looming here. It's a lovely thing. And the reason I'm doing that is because this is a multi-channel synthesizer. It's got, you can play it as a poly, but also it works as a individual four voices in multi-channel mode. There's little jumpers on the back of the Abyss, and when you put it in multi-channel mode, you can also flick one of the little jumper switches, and it means that the chord control, providing you're not in chord mode, those chords become independent settings for each of the four voices. So A, voice one. I think kind of one of those curious things lurking inside the Abyss. The Abyss. That was the wrong octave. That was meant to be an octave lower. Didn't quite have the desired effect. Okay, how about
in the abyss? That's not quite.
Right. Okay. I am. Let's have a look here. Gosh, loads of people to say hello to. Can I just do one big hello to everybody, just so? Right. Okay, so Noodle Box. Let's try and get something going. So, what I'll do in a moment, though, I will connect the CV to the rack. But before that, we'll just use it as a MIDI sequencer. It's when it's connected really to the rack, I think, is where the joy happens. But, well, saying that, much joy to be had here too. What am I talking about? Right. Let's get some sound. Oh, okay. You may have to excuse me for being a little bit, I am new to this, so lots of shortcuts. Actually, before we get any sound up, I'll just talk a little bit about the control system here. Like if you press a button and then press another button, there's usually things that happen, hence this cheat sheet here. And whilst we're talking about cheat sheets, manufacturers, please take note. If you do need things that aren't apparent, please make a nice quality laminated patch sheet, like a cheat sheet like this. I think it's great. I think that's a really nice little touch. Noodle Box does come really packaged really nicely, actually. Oh, it's lovely. What a nice thing. Packaging is often underrated. The Moog Subharmonicon, for those of you who will have got them, will absolutely recognise this. And maybe if you've had any sort of recent Moog products, they come really nicely packaged, and the manual and just the whole experience of it is really charming, and it's something you don't see that much. And yeah, the way the manual, the artwork, and just the design of the manual is beautiful. Yes. Yes. So anyway, back to the Noodle Box though. Right. So the basic thing of the Noodle Box is you've got 4 pages and 4 layers available to you. So the 4 layers are 4 separate sequences. So if I hold down layer, and I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. So these first 4 buttons allow me just to jump to the 4 different sequences. And if I hold down page, same 4 buttons let me go to 4 different pages. Now, a page is everything you see in a page. Yeah, you've got 4 of them. So that could be 4 pages of 4 layers. And that's the principle of it. Now, this isn't the kind of sequencer that you would do. It's not a song. It has no song mode at all. It's not that kind of thing. It really is, as the box itself says, Noodle Box. It's about making lots of little melodies and stuff. Now, there are some interesting control paradigms with this. One of which I think is super cool is if you hold down the loop function, this blue line right at the bottom, just above my finger here, that shows how long the loop is. And if I just put the cursor, say I put it at the beginning, hold it down and just hold it down for 4, now I just made a 4-beat loop. And helpfully, the screen sort of does these kind of things to show us what's going on. See the numbers at the top now, so I can set it to a 16-step loop. Well, I didn't set it to a 16-step loop, but I could easily do that. Do that again. So put that at the top and then drag it out 16 steps. Yeah, there we go. So the 4 different layers, they can all have those loops working in different places. That's not looping across the 4 different layers. If I jump to sort of like layer 2, I could say set that loop to be over here. And look, there's something very interesting too, is that the way when you loop forward, say I loop this way, the looper works going forward. But if I was to drag it, hold the loop button down and say, go here and drag it backwards, the loop runs backwards. Now, we need to hear sounds. We need to hear sounds to, you need to, to see all of this. But anyway, I just can continue this little tour and then we'll go back over some of this stuff. So yeah, so layer, I'm going to jump back to layer 1, page 1. And you got cool things you can go, like if I just want to get rid of, if I go, like, let's go to page, layer 2. Okay. I could clear a page. I can hold down clear and page. It says sure, and I can let go, and it didn't clear it. But if I then went sure and turned the knob to the right, then it confirms it. So you get quite a lot of these little text information things coming up, even though this is just made of giant big blue LEDs. There still can be quite a lot of information. So if, like, in the layer menu, for instance, here, I can scroll through this menu, and so there's are certain options that are available for each of the 4 layers. So we can make that be a pitch type sequencer, or it could be a modulation sequencer, or it could be an offset offset. I haven't quite got into offsets yet, so I'll skip over that one. But we'll certainly look at the mod envelope, because it does a different. The mod sequencer, because it does a different thing. We'll come back to that in a moment. Duration, rate, what's that? Off grid mode. Oh, neat. So we can swing, slide, and add random slides. Swing, random slide. Nice. But I guess the point I'm saying is that these menus are, you can read them easily. They're nice and clear. I think it's really nice. And that's one of the things that I've been most drawn to this. It's almost like a friendly vibe about it. You like it there. They're not too strong. It's not dazzling, or it's really pleasing. Anyway, let's see if I can get some music on the go. How is everybody doing out there? Is all good? Is everything running okay? And sound and video looks all right? Yeah, cool. I didn't really put a lot of thought into that. Okay, I was trying this kind of thing here. That sort of stuff. It's using just a bit of the digital zoom of the Roland. That's all right, I suppose, isn't it? So I can get 2 shots at the same camera. Hold me over there. Yes. So, yeah, apologies if you've tuned in for a guest. I decided again, I was so excited. This Noodle Box arrived yesterday, and actually the Angle Grinder too. I felt that there was too much stuff to cover with these things, because, I think they're nice. Both things. I said the Noodle Box is friendly. The Angle Grinder can be decidedly unfriendly in a good way, in like a good unfriend a good unfriendly way. Yes. Right, let me get some sound up though on the Abyss first though, because I might just start it. I'm going to turn it off and turn it back on again, just so I'm starting from. Whoops. Yeah, you got to hold it on for a little moment there. Okay, so this is how it sort of looks when it's. Let's get back, sorry, so you can see what I'm talking about. This is how it looks in its kind of default way. Is that even better to do it that one? Yeah, let's do it that. So yeah, so you hold down CV and you can add a note. As soon as you add a note, it kind of fills. Now the way it fills, that can change. But let's run this now. So now because it's blank, I'll need to assign that layer to a MIDI channel, which in this case, my Abyss is on channel 6. So generally holding down CV and just giving it a twist. When it goes to MIDI note, it's opening up a bunch of MIDI options. So channel here, I'll put that onto channel 6. Okay, so nice. So now this first channel is outputting on 6. Let's see why I should have some sound. Oh yeah, let me turn the mixer up. That makes sense. Yay! Okay. All right. Okay, we're all good to go. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. But let's have a look now. So when you add a note, it adds a gate, but you can turn gates on and off. This bottom row kind of represents, the row just above the bottom row. You can see there's one gate on there at the moment. So I could actually add more gates. Okay. Where's that little ticking going on? Oh, it's coming from the LFO. Okay, that's good. Okay, now I could add notes in a bunch of different ways. One of the things that's cool, as is often the case with these kind of sequences, is I can go to quantize in the layer menu and I could turn on that. So that is going to follow the scale. What scale is it? Well, we've got a global scale at the moment. I'd like to see independent scales. That could come, I guess, but there's a global scale. So I'm going to set that to everybody's favorite Dorian, and let's do it in E. Okay. So now our sequencer. So I can do things now. I could add random notes in here. Back to my cheat sheet. The cheat sheet, though, to be fair, I guess, is a bunch of that's about gates. So you hold down gate when you want to do gate functions. When you want to hold down clone, you hold down clone. There is a lot of clear. There's a lot of logic to it. So random. Oh yeah. So if I just hold down random and drag it on. Oh, why is that not? Oh, that's cool. Why is that not generating notes? Oh, I see. It's like random whilst I'm holding the random down. If I let go, it returns back. Oh, I see. So that's more for doing. That's like for doing fills and stuff. I am learning it at the moment. I'm so sorry, folks. It's literally. It's a lot of this stuff is my first time on it. So let's. Okay, we're gonna get. This is the Abyss in action here. Let's do here. Let's go there. Yeah. Okay, so that's one voice on the Abyss. So I'll go to a new layer now. Here, layer 2, and I can start adding notes in. I've also got to set the MIDI channels, haven't I? So MIDI channel, I'm going to put that note, and then MIDI channel. This time it's going to be MIDI channel 7. Yes. Oh, what's happening here? Something. Oh, I've got a mute here, so I can do this. I can mute. It's both playing at the same time. This is way too jolly for Dorian. Hang on, let me just stop that a moment. Whew, okay. if it's the wrong sequence of notes, it's like, oh, it's like amazing, isn't it? That, you know, if the notes are slinky and seductive, you can just let them go for a long time. But if they're like horrible and and annoying, yes, let me make something nicer. I guess what? Because all four voices are going to be coming from here, I should probably make them. I should probably split the octaves of them, make them quite a bit further apart from each other. Let's do that. Ugh. Well, actually, if I come out of this, let me modify the melody with some of the other things here. So, layer one. So I can like move everything like vertically up. That's quite nice to see. Okay, layer two. What's that random? So. There we go. And then again with my loop, my little looping tool here, I could just. Whoa. Let's see if we can save this. Octave. Yeah. Octave, octave, octave. Oct. There we are. The Abyss. I love how the Abyss takes everything into stranger places. Cool. So yeah, okay. What's making noise? I've got the drive cranked on the Abyss. Yes, please don't judge my performing too much on this because it's so new to me. Look, and it's called the Noodle Box Serendipity Sequencer. Serendipity Sequencer. Yes. Gosh, there's so many functions in here. I'm barely scratching the surface, but you get the gist of it though. It's got 4 sequences, and yeah, and you can have 4 pages of those sets of sequences. And then there's memories as well. I think there's 8 memories. Haven't quite got into that yet, but there are memory shortcuts on here. I think the memory button, I'm guessing 8 sequences. I guess that's I'm sure is the case. Yes, so we will be. Oh, the angle grinder's doing something interesting. There's feedback circuits, I think, in the angle grinder, and it does do some very odd things. Oh, I'm looking forward to showing you that, because in my basic understanding of it so far, just twiddling and tweaking gets some great results. Yeah, that is one of the things about some of these modules. They are quite difficult to explain. You know, I'm doing my little camera trick. I was trying to do it discreetly so no one would see. So when it's on me, doing the other one. I hate that. Okay, I can relax for 30 minutes. I'm so proud and glad I have a Noodle Box number 002. Wow. Noodle Box 002. This is number 40. So, 002. Wow. What? Yeah, lovely build quality on it, though. It really does feel like, you know, like a proper, nice quality piece of kit. Okay, but doing stuff with it. Yeah, the CV. I know what I'm doing. Yes, of course. I'm going to go to page 2 now. And on this sequence on page 2, I'm going to make that layer. I'm going to say it's going to be a mod envelope. And now, what's cool, when you add things into the mod envelope, like so,
Look, it kind of adds interpolating points. You see, so let us... no, I'm trying to jump ahead too far. But I'll just show you that for now. The different types of sequencer, that's the main two. And then there's an offset one, which I'm guessing, what does offset mean? Is it just offsetting an existing sequence? I don't know. I'm sorry about that, but there is that mode. Yeah, it's hard because it's like trying to learn the angle grinder and the Noodle Box. I've just sort of, both of them are, they're nice, detailed, interesting things. So don't let my fumblings put you off. Right. I'll do something more with the Abyss first, though, I think, because I want to try and get something happening that is nice. Yes. I'm going to turn it off, turn it on again, I think. Oh, no! Fool! The MIDI! You wally! Now, there is a method. I don't know how to do it. I think there's a setting in here that you can save a template, which would be useful in this case. So I've got MIDI note, and I'm going to go to channel 6. Oh, yeah, you can from a menu, though, which is cool. You can change each layer by just holding layer. Now I'm changing the settings of layer 2, so you can do that as well. Channel 7. Sorry, this is the thrilling stuff. Oops. Layer 3. MIDI. Channel. CC, not CC. But you can do CC. You can make it a CC continuous controller sequencer. 6, 7, 8. And then, oh wait, there we go. Layer 4. All right. MIDI. Note. Channel 9. Okay, so that's configured essentially to be driving that 4 voices. Sorry about that. That's like a minute or a minute and a half or 2 minutes, however long it took, that you can never get back. So I humbly apologise for that. Right. Okay, we are here. I will not turn it off again. Right. Putting notes in. So again, do I want to quantize the grid, the musical grid? I should also mention, if I had a MIDI keyboard plugged in, you can record notes into it. You'd be pleased to know. Yeah. So let's have a look. Let's add some notes here. Let's run this. What layer am I on? Layer 1. Oh, have I messed the sound? What we've got going on here? Let's just... Yeah. One of the things that's nice with the Abyss is it's quite nice to get it to its default state, just like that. And just leave it in the organ envelope. Just sustain all the way up. And output, where do we go in? Here, here. Channel 2. Yeah, no. Yeah, channel 2. Oh, that's a very short note. Oh, filter. Look at me showing off that I put it into its default state and I left the filter down. Oh, ouch. Now that's given me something to... that's like a poke in the eye, isn't it? For sort of... right, okay. Let's take the resonance right down. Okay. Ooh, squelchy. What's going on here? Okay. The most exciting song you've ever heard. Okay, let's add some notes. Why is that sounding really terrible? Okay. Now I can clone this layer. Clone. Clone steps. Oh, okay. So I can hold down clone. Oh no, that's not how to do it.
the random function now. Oops. Oh, I haven't got the chromatic scale. Let's just quickly put them all into scale as well. Okay. Whoa, scale. Okay, so they're on the scale. Functions of the layer. Let's do. I'll stick with Dorian. Okay, sorry about this. Right, okay, let's try and get something nice happening. So, like I was saying, you can make the layers run at different rates. So, if I jump back to my layer 1, go to my layer menu. Oh. What's going on? Go. Sorry, not everything works, but yeah, I'm just trying to figure it out at the moment. But you know, the more I'm just starting to spin around with that controller, it is kind of like a unique and fast way of working. So I think with a little bit of finesse, getting used to it a little bit, I think it could be pretty cool. Anyway, I am going to move on now for the moment. Yeah, there's so much in this. I will return to it, but I'm going to go over to the angle grinder and let's... That's the thing, you see, when Dan was showing me something, the penny dropped in this kind of old mutton brain here. I have been resisting the thing about getting more VCAs for my rack because I just didn't see any purpose for them particularly, and now I do. I see the error in my ways. I kind of get it now. And I was looking up VCA modules today. Yes, that's where this is getting me. So VCA is just simply voltage controlled amplifier, and they are just ways to boost or to kind of attenuate, I guess, a signal. They don't do a lot, but they do shape the sound. And now that's where I need to get a little bit more educated, I think. However, the angle grinder. So I'm going to refocus the camera for a moment so we can get a little bit closer onto the angle grinder. Sorry about this. Oops. Let's get that in. And you see, it is a very cool, very, very cool looking module. We need some look, here we go, folks. It's happening live now. Where do you reckon? 1250? Yes. There we go. How's that looking there? So the angle grinder consists of these two parts, the grind part and the spin part. And I think the spin is sort of like an oscillator that's sort of made up of four sine waves that are 90 degrees apart, I think. So yeah, you can kind of see there's little tiny diagrams. You know, this one is a complete cycle from this one here is from halfway down and back up to half. Bottom is an inverse of the top, and then bottom corner is inverse of the top corner. Right, okay, so what does that all mean? I'm sort of getting it. Like over here we've kind of got a wave shaper, and it kind of works again on the different sections of the waveform. Now
let's get some sound up. And I'm going to use the Mini Brute for a VCA. So there is a VCA on here that we can plug into. I should leave that, but it is just by here. So I'm using the keyboard from the Arturia as well. So let's have a look. Let's see. So signal path then is going to be I've got to patch in keyboard. So I'm patching in keyboard from the Mini Brute 2 into the volts per octave in. Okay, and now the output of it is coming out into my VCA on my Mini Brute, and then it's going to that's going to come out. Oh yeah, okay, and then in 3 here, and there it is. Okay, let's get some more signal. Okay, hang on. So if I've got all of this off, we're just dealing with an analog sine. This is a fully analog module. Ooh. Just pure sine. They're so lovely down there, aren't they? Oh, that's really nice. So after it leaves here and when it's coming out of here, it's going into the dope for stereo mixer, and then that's going out into the Rosie mono one side, and then the other side of the stereo mixer is going into the effects, so we can put some of that on later. Okay, so let's start playing around with this then. So we got 2 ranges that it can work in. Now, to make it an oscillator, I have to get the grind controls all the way over and the damping all the way over. Damping is an odd control. It's sort of some sort of inverted resonance or something. Okay. Now, because that's just a pure sine wave, if we start to use the wave shaper part here, starts to break it up. So Dan was showing it me through his oscilloscope, and seeing how the sine wave, how this starts to break up the sine wave, it's so educational that it seems like it's a no-brainer now to get an oscilloscope. Now, all 4 of these are modulatable as well. So I'm thinking of like the Noodle Box being a really cool way of putting in sequencing these different wave shape portions here. Wow, so just as an oscillator, God, listen to that. Could also do with a tuner, you see. So an oscilloscope, there's a tuner. Because something like this, got to tune by ear. Wow. So this is moving the grind over to spin. I don't really understand what's going on, but I like it. I think we've got to get some modulations going on it though, really. And also it outputs out here the different kind of filter outs as well. So, because you can, if you put an input signal into it, oof. Wow. Wow. Guys, just full of surprises this thing is. Oh my goodness. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Let's get some LFOs into this little bad boy. I'm going to use the two LFOs that I've got in the Mini Brute 2. So the Mini Brute 2 is a really useful bunch of utilities that that it can do, as well as being a fabulous synth in its own right. And it is. I really love it as a synth. It's great. I'm going out of LFO 1 and I'm going to go into this one. Oh, we can see it flashing now. Oh, nice. And that's flashing in the... Oh, yeah, look at that. Ah. Of course. Now I'm progressing up the Euroack kind of way of doing things. I am going to use the attenuverter. Yes, this LFO is too strong, so it's going to go into the Moog AV1 attenuverter, and that's going to mean that I can have it do that thing, but control it. So here we go. So pull this out a little bit. Oh. Focus. Okay, let's get this up a bit. Oh yeah. So awesome. You see, little things like this are bringing me joy. Okay, so let's make this a bit more... Oh, wow, look at that. Strange. Well, that one doesn't do that. Let's see what happens if we modulate that one. Same sort of thing. Wow. You see that just brought the magic in then, didn't it? Blimmin' heck. Slide that back in, look. There. Wow. Okay. This is super cool. Let's pitch it up a bit more. Wow. It feels like there's like weird dangers lurking just around the corner. Let's plug it into itself. What else can it do? Whoa. Whoa. It's back down there again. Attenuverter. Okay. Okay. So sorry about this. Just trying to make sense of it. Okay. I'm going to turn it off for a moment. Yeah. I'm pretty stupid. I can't really figure things out that quickly. I need to spend a bit of time with stuff and learn about them. But I am having a lot of fun with this kit. Look at all that space now. Oh my goodness. I am missing the subharmonicon though. It's been such a fun thing, and I've typically been using this rig with the subharmonicon doing most of the stuff and then having things around the outside. So now it's gone. I'm having to go in deep. And as I say, considering buying things like VCAs and stuff, it's like, I'm in there now. I am in there. How are we doing for time? Okay. Hope you're all enjoying this. It's all a little bit haphazard. But yes, these two things then, the angle grinder and the Noodle Box, I think are going to be really fun to... Oh, shall we do it now? I'll have to move it to get it to reach. This is where things go horribly wrong usually. Creating expensive pieces of equipment crashing down, as has been witnessed. I'm sure some of you were there when I smashed my sledge on Sonic Talk. That was very funny and very sad. Okay, I'm gonna let's get this into shot a bit. Actually, nice, because the sequences are going to be feeding into the Abyss and the CV at the same time. So I guess we could do some quite cool stuff. It's difficult to find a good place really for the camera to see everything in nice and clear, but I hope this is just enough for us to get on with for the time being. Okay, where was I? I was making a horrible sequence on here. I'm not going to turn it off. Or maybe I should. No, because the MIDI's assigned. Let's just turn that one down. I'm not turning it down there. I've got it turned down there. Only turn your things down in one place at a time, kids. Because it'll only bite you on the bum. Right. Okay. Let's just get my head together. How are we doing? Right. I am thinking now of getting a overflow rack case. Yes. Wow. Fireworks outside. I am thinking about getting an overflow rack case. I said I wasn't going to, but I've been thinking about it. I've been rationalising it. I have been rationalising it. And yes, it's true. There can be a bit of rational thought. It's way light for fireworks. There must be disappointing fireworks. Or maybe they're inverted fireworks. Right. Okay, let me get something happening. So, I guess that the CV and... Okay. Where is it? The volt per octave. This one here. This wants to come out of... Okay, let's set this one up. Okay, I'll try and do this quickly. Okay, so coming out of A, CV A is going to go into volts per octave on the angle grinder. Okay, let's just run that now and see if we can get some sound coming out. Oh, if you turn it down as well, don't forget to turn it back up. Okay, no, let's see what channel we're coming in. Coming out here, into here, out here, and into 3. Okay, there it is. Okay. Okay, you're going to have to bear with me now. And for anyone whose partners are kind of, it's going on in the background, can you please accept my apologies for the horrible kind of nonsense that's going to happen. just while I'm trying to make sense of this. Okay. Oh. Okay. Right, so this layer is running really slow at the moment. So there we go. Let's run it two triplets. Let's put it just back to 6. Let's just go back to 16 just to be on in like some sort of safe ground here. I'm on page. Oh. Page. I'm page 1. Oh, sorry. I'm on layer 2. Layer 1. 1A. Get it? Yeah, so pages are in pages are A, B, C, and D. Layers are in 1, 2, and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It makes sense. It makes perfect sense. Now, what is this meandering nonsense going on at the moment? Let's figure it out. So we've got a mute mode, so we can mute out the 4. But the angle grinder hasn't got a gate signal. So let me. So this VCA. This is where it all starts to make sense. I'm going to come out. Oh, there's already one plugged in. I'm going to come out of that gate. And I'm going to stick it into this trigger. Let's see. No. Wow. Right. Okay, so okay. Let me just get this back going again. I've muted it, haven't I? So up. Okay. Oh my gosh. I'm getting something horrible going on here. Let's just take it. Right, so it's all coming from this same sequence. Let's just clear this. Let's just clear the notes here. So I can clear the notes. Yes. Yeah, I can clear this page. Yes. Oh, what's going on? There's something going on down in the background there. Dude. Okay. So I'll just make a really simple little 4-step sequence. Now, that isn't taking. We're getting gates there, aren't we? But that's not changing. Sorry about this. Let's pull that out. Yes, trying to do nice musical things on the fly with stuff that you don't really know what you're doing with isn't always easy. I apologise for the lack of joy here. God, it's weird. Oh, there it goes. Look at that. Failed. Pow. There's definitely a drinking game in here somewhere, isn't there? Oh, this is an horrible. I'm stopping this. I'm stopping this on musical grounds. Yes. I'm trying to operate two things here. Free yourself from the idea of nice musical things. That's a very profound thing to say to me. Okay. That's, yeah, I know. I guess I'm thinking of an entertainer. I'm a musician. I've performed live all my life, you see. So I know there's some of you out there. So I'm kind of feeling I need to sort of play some songs. And I don't know what I'm doing. So that's the thing. And I don't want to misrepresent how cool these things are too. I think, okay. That's cool. That's cool. Because that is for me, that was actually something that was putting me off Euroack as well a little bit, was the fact that when I saw people playing around with them, they typically were just doing like very cool sound designy sort of things. And then over the years, I've seen some great acts and had my mind blown. Finley Shakespeare live, my goodness. my goodness, wow. Really, really highly recommend seeing him. Who were the guys at Synth Reactor last year? Oh my goodness, I'll remember their names now, but they are cool. They did a performance on the Saturday night, and what I really liked about those guys was they'd been in bands for years, one being the drummer and one being the bass player, so they were used to playing off each other. And when they were playing, the drummer, well, the guy was just doing drums and the other guy was doing melodies, so there was a clear definition of what they were doing. But you could see that they were vibing and rocking off each other in a way that was kind of meaningful to me, because I recognized it as the kind of relationship you have with another musician. And yeah, I think that's super cool. So I really want to do, I want to be able to get good enough to be able to perform with other people. I definitely would like to do that. So you see, a lot of the stuff that I've done when I've played live and used all sorts of synths, typically synths more in a 70s kind of style, a prog rock style, as opposed to doing a lot of electronic music live. I have done some things in the past, but I'm a bass player, really. That's my that's my bag. But plugging into the bass into this, I've been having an enormous amount of joy. In fact, I might do that in a bit, because, well, we'll see how we go for time. This thing, the Moog, is an incredible distortion, and I was talking about this last week, but because I've got the same distortion on my pedal board, so it's brilliant having this here. It feels like I can connect my two worlds in a very cool way. So yeah, okay. So with the angle grinder, then I want to get this thing going where you get it to it can create sort of like feedback. I think maybe this is what the damping does. Is let me get it making some sound, and let's turn this up again. This lovely sequence. Let's oh, I can hear something. Oh yeah. Oh, nice. Let's patch in the distortion then. So I'm gonna go here. In. All right. That was the abyss we were hearing then. Let's get this angle grinder coming back up. 3. Oh, it's going into here now. Okay, I'll leave that off for the moment. Oh yeah, sequence CV. A. Well, right. We're 1/8. Yeah, so I'm 1/8. That's all good. I got my little sequence happening there. So it was coming out MIDI as well. That was cool. Okay, bear with me, folks. Oh, there it is. God, it's just, this is the thing. What is this? There is that sequence. Okay. I guess I could tune it manually if I bring that one in. I can't be bothered. Right. Let's see what this thing can do. Oop. So like that damping. Okay, so... Oh, look at this now. This is when it starts going a bit funny. Oh, I've got all sorts of stuff going on in here. Let's pull these out. Oh, I'm so sorry about the lack of musicality tonight. When you go down there, you just start finding these tones on this thing. So I think just as an oscillator alone, it's amazing. Now, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull this out. And I'm going to feed the abyss that through. Let's get this sequence doing a bit more first. So I need to figure out oops. So it goes back 16 steps. Delay on here as well. Okay, so here we go. Let's take that out. I'm going to plug that abyss then into the angle grinder. I'm going to take these controls over to filter here. Oh, hang on, why? We're losing a lot of gain there. Why? Okay, wow. Okay. So, I'm being a bit bamboozled by this. Probably should have read the manual first, but... Isn't that part of the fun, though? Sorry, I'm apologising for the sequence running. I go to layer 2, and then okay. Oh. Oh my goodness. It's just descending into. You know what we need to do, don't you? We need the effects to help us now. Effects, where are you? Effects. Aha. Let's plug that in correctly. As. Aha. Oof. There's a little tune buried in there. Whoa. Jeepers. Oh my God. Holy cow. Wow. Gee. What a... Wow. Effects. Take the effects out. Fold some of the effects back in again. If I had a MIDI keyboard plugged into the Noodle Box, I'd be able to transpose the sequences on the fly. Well, I guess I can with this anyway. There's ways of changing different layers at the same time as well. Oh, I see. Select layer. Oh no. I will return to the Noodle Box on a later show once I've learned to use it properly. But I reckon this is using the angle grinder properly now. That's cool, isn't it? Well, thanks everyone for joining me tonight. It's lovely to see, and so many friends. It's brilliant to see you guys there. God, it's like demented church bells ringing, isn't it? Oh, it's going into the distortion and it's off. Oh, hang on. Here we go. This is a world as well. This is... Oh, yeah, let's crank the gain right up. Let's put these distortions up and let's... So we'll make it really thin. Gosh. Okay. I think we may have overstayed our welcome on that one there. Okay, cool. Oh, effects. Effects are just like, they're just there to the rescue, aren't they? I love effects. How are we doing for time? Okay, so I'm going to be probably going on for about another 5 minutes or so, and then I will be signing out. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me tonight, and for tuning in. If you are a regular, which I can see, there's a bunch of regulars there, which is really nice to see too. I'm really enjoying the kind of abstract nature that the Euroack, like what was just happening then. I really do sort of enjoy that. And something I often talk about, though, is how, well, especially if you're a musician like myself who's been a working musician all my life, you know, I'll value things sometimes by how useful they are to my... to me from a making money, earning money from music kind of thing. And then there's other things music things which I like that I don't apply that to at all. And I think this stuff, I guess if I was doing sound design for games, you could get some really interesting stuff out of here. My songwriting process, this is what I'm really interested in. I would like to see if I can find ways of bringing this more into my regular songwriting and Downstairs, I've got a Roland MC707 for review, which is a groove box. It's been out for a short while, but it's had some quite significant updates, and I'm quite interested in fusing that kind of world with this kind of world with Beatley songwriting world. That's what I'm interested in, because I think, can I put together a Beatley type song on the 707? Will it facilitate like an actual pop song, a verse chorus with vocals, because you can sample into it? So I'm curious, like, treating it a bit like a multi-tracker, but also then using some of its kind of interesting sequency things as well. But then trying to harness the power of this into Beatlesy sort of songs. Well, the Beatles did, didn't they? I mean, they used the Moog, which model is it, the 2C or something? One of the early Moog modulars, and the Beatles just aced everything they did. If you listen to how well they used it, they didn't, it's just been invented. They used, if you listen to how gorgeous it works on Here Comes the Sun, the layers, all of the ways that they've approached it is so musical and so just glorious Beatles. The thing's just been invented. He comes into the studio and they make magic with it. George made a whole album of synths. Did he? George did a synth album. Ooh, that I might have overlooked. I mean, was there sort of synth stuff in Wonderwall on that kind of thing? Moog 15. It was George Harrison's. Yeah. Wow. There is, you can hear a bootleg of John Lennon playing the stylophone. I think Paul McCartney might have brought in a stylophone and John Lennon was playing it, and I don't know. Is it on any Beatles recordings? I'm not sure. But you can just hear him just scrubbing away, just like really typical kind of stylophone nonsense. I love the stylophone. What am I talking about? How are we doing? Okay, so I'm probably going to wrap in a few minutes, so I shall just talk about a few up and coming things. So I'm just making this stuff up as I go along. I love the idea of having a show. I love the idea that a bunch of you are tuning in, and I absolutely love all of the positive comments I've been getting, both in the live chat and in the messages afterwards. It really makes me very happy indeed. So thank you very much, and I'll try and answer whatever I can. But it's amazing. That is a really powerful thing that I receive from doing these little broadcasts. It's the feedback, so thank you so much. However, I have been promising guests, and I'm just wondering whether I'm thinking now of, rather than being too haphazard, about announcing the guest at the end of a show. I think that's what I might do as from next week, is announce who the next guest is going to be at the end of the show, to keep you all hooked. So you have to hang on to find out who the guest is going to be. I think that's what I'm going to do in future shows, because some of the guests I can't wait to share with you. But, I can't believe some of the people who are going to be on this show. So, yes. However, this show is something that I do want to develop into the future. So your feedback is most appreciated. I was really pleased with some of the musical sort of journeys I went on last week. Tonight, no, I'm not getting it. I'm not in the click yet. So I've not, I need to spend more time with these things. So again, don't let those things, it's not their fault. It's my fault. But yes, so on upcoming shows, I'm going to try and do this kind of thing of a mixture of playing around with stuff, but it won't necessarily be Euroack, and it may not even be synthesizer. I reserve the right to do whatever I want on my show. Is that okay with you guys? So that is, well, that's how it's going to be, because, you know, I kind of want to do things. Like, for instance, I want to introduce you to some of my other instruments as well. Like this beautiful thing. This is called a Tacoma Thunder Chief and is has got an incredible sound. It sounds fabulous. It's it's a lovely instrument to play. I've used this on a bunch of sessions. I've done some live things with it as well. And my different instruments, I have lots of stories about them. Yeah, this is fretless. Something there. Pinch slide harmonic. Oh, it's not so easy to do on this one. Yeah, it's great, but it's got a really, really deep, rich sound. Usually these kind of acoustic guitar style basses don't sound very rich, but this one... Yeah, it's lovely. So things like that. That is my right. Yeah, what else is coming up? There's a bunch of Sonic State stuff going to be coming out soon. We filmed, just awaiting editing and stuff. So that's stuff to look out for. And a long way into the future, I'm going to make some announcement as well about some things that's going to be happening on the show, but that is a long-term tease. I shall say no more about that. Right, I am out of here. Thank you everybody for joining me, and I'm going to be back next week at the same time. That's 8 p.m. on a Wednesday night. That's 8 p.m. UK time. So please, if you fancy joining live, it's great. Wonderful and friendly chat room there, just having a beautiful conversation. And I'd really enjoy looking over those afterwards as well. So it's quite hard to follow it in real time, but I really do appreciate it. So please, keep those coming. And what else? There's some other cool things. Well, I say cool things. No, I shall keep it quiet because next week I've got some announcements that I'm going to make as well regarding show and things. So definitely come back because those things will be revealed. And yeah, I think I'm just waffling and it's time for me to go. So I shall say goodbye, everybody, and catch you next week. Bye-bye.